Points. Salve. Yes, that is Latin for hello. And welcome to another episode of the Broad Points Podcast. I am your host, the broad that points, the broad with the points. It's me, Tyler, the lady. And this episode of the podcast goes out to all the mamas and mama's mamas. Just kidding. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. It's not me, but there's aunties out there like me because of mothers like you. So thank you for your contribution to this world, for making life. We are so grateful to all of the mothers out there. And yes, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Another interesting time this week, I will say, with my computer. Alas, things in my control, which I think is extremely important to focus on, especially in times when things maybe aren't going your way. I decided to focus on my nourishment last week. So this week, maybe try and focus on a little bit of nourishment for yourself. Whatever nourishing yourself means to you. It might mean something different to everyone. For some people, it may be nutrition. For some people, it may be working out. For some people, maybe stretching. For some people, maybe meditating. I think really dialing into nourishment is just so crucial. And for me, I do tend to struggle sometimes with a little bit of a, how should we say this, hanger. Food for me has always been a little bit extra work. And the reason why I say that is because I really have to be mindful about eating. I really will swing from one side of the pendulum to the other, from overeating and binge eating to, not really eating. And there's definitely negatives to both sides of those scales. And so anytime now that I'm really starting to feel stressed out, I really dial in to what I'm eating and what I am consuming, because I really think that we need to think of everything that we are consuming as medicine for our bodies. And yes, everything in moderation, but also, what are we doing to our bodies? What are we medicating, right? What are we trying to, resolve? Do we have an ailment? What is this medicine for? I mean, for me, it was just, a lot of the times I wasn't even thinking about it. It was very hand to mouth of just like putting food in, like just trying to fill something, trying to fill the void, usually some void of something. And so rather than avoiding the void by stuffing it with things and hoping that it will go away, now I'm really trying to focus on, what will allow me to feel my best through this time. And I think that question is just really important, again, for whatever nourishment you find for your body. This last week for myself, I decided that I really wanted to try and incorporate a lot of things for anti-inflammatory, your adrenal glands constantly shooting off all those stress hormones. That is inflammation, right? If you've injured yourself, that is inflammation. If you're sore, that is inflammation. If you're sick, inflammation. And so increasing antioxidants and, getting some stress reducing nutrients in there. Magnesium. You guys, I don't know if I have mentioned magnesium on the podcast before or not. I have taken a reasonable amount of nutrition classes, and magnesium always is being brought up because of its stress and anxiety reducing benefits. And for me personally, actually, I have not always a hard time falling asleep, but maybe a difficult time staying asleep from time to time. And over this past week, I mean, I know you can't judge anything off of a week, but I'm just telling you about my experience because that's what we do here. We share. And last week, I decided to try taking a magnesium supplement before bed. I actually started a morning and evening routine. My morning routine is to drink a smoothie because how easy is it to get everything that you want into a smoothie? And then ending with magnesium at the night to just really like de-stress and allow my body to just ease its way into relaxation. I will say the first night that I took the magnesium though, within an hour, I was so tired. I was so ready for bed. I might have even started to fall asleep on the couch, and I took it early thinking that it was going to take a while, and it didn't. I am taking a powder that you mix into water. I don't know if that works faster than the capsules. There are options depending on who you are. If magnesium is something that you would like to incorporate into your routine. Smoothies in the morning, though, for myself. I really have such a hard time eating stuff in the morning. And drinking stuff, piece of cake. You know, give me a coffee, give me a smoothie, give me, a drink. I'm good. However, eating things, it's just, I don't know if I'm not mentally prepared to eat things that early or what, but it's almost like when you eat salad and you get bored. That's kind of what happens to me in the morning. And it's too much. And so I know that my body doesn't always really like that because, maybe I'll start to feel a little shaky or my head will hurt or, I'll start to feel other symptoms throughout the day when I'm working. And rather than waiting until my first break to get to go to make that smoothie or, get a snack, which usually by then it's just a garbage snack. By making myself, a nourishing smoothie at the beginning of the day, it lasts me a lot longer, and then it usually, guess what, leads to better choices. Better choices. And I know we don't like to put judgment on things here, but I'm going to paint a picture for you. So, let's say I am starting my day off with a Red Bull Italian soda. What's included in that? There is, Red Bull, lots of sugar in that. Soda water, no sugar in that, but citric acid for your stomach lining and your teeth. And then some more sugar, right? That's a big Pacific Northwest drink. I loved them. Even still love them. I just had a couple for Coachella, maybe had a few after that too, just reminiscing in old times. The thing about starting my day off with those is that all day, all I want is more sugar. Yeah, you guys, I feel like the earlier we start with sugar, the more sugar we want throughout the entire day. It's like our brain just keeps saying, oh no, we need more. Oh, we need more. And there really is the crash with sugar. If you just continue to eat and eat and eat sugar, then you just pass out. And, I think there are other options. And so I decided to try smoothies again. Because I go back and forth. I really do love them. I think, especially in the desert, there's seasonal living. And I think anywhere you live, there's seasonal living. Maybe in the summer for Washington, you want to get into smoothies. But then in the winter in Washington, you want to eat a whole breakfast. I have no idea what your life is. You do you, boo. For me, this smoothie that I have now, I'm putting in some fruits, I'm putting in some vegetables, I'm putting in some protein. I started doing my chia seeds. I've always put chia seeds in my smoothies, but now I'm soaking them in water beforehand. Soaking chia seeds in water is actually better for your digestion. Yes, because then the chia seeds aren't soaking up all your juices. They're already pre-soaked, and they can just help to just pick up the debris on the way out. clean you out real good. And, one thing that I want to say here, especially about nourishment, but really, honestly, just about life in general, is that the easy things, they don't last, right? Drinking a Red Bull soda every morning, it doesn't last. The lasting things, they aren't easy, right? So the easy things don't last, and the lasting things aren't easy. The lasting things, they may be simple, right? We can boil the lasting things down and find ourselves a level of simplicity that, we really want to commit to, right? And commitment, it is a pledge, right? So why not pledge allegiance to yourself and to the life and the body that you want to live in, to the mind that you want to live in? Again, I think so often we can get caught up in the physical perspective, and that is okay. When we're in that zone, checking in mentally to see what is coming up will so often assist you on your physical journey. Like I said earlier, when I was binge eating, I was noticing that void within myself. And, that level 1 energy, we've talked about it before, that avoidance energy was coming out and not wanting to deal with it, just wanting to pacify it. Right? Are we trying to pacify a situation? Or are we trying to find resolution? Right? Are we trying to heal? I think there's so often when we're hurt, we are hurt. It's okay to be hurt. Part of life is the downs, right? There are ups and there are downs. And there is really only ever your perspective. And for you to commit to your perspective, to commit to your view, to commit to your life, that's giving you the power, right, to persevere, to continue to push on. And this last week, it was a very hard week, and it really did push me to focus on myself again. Not saying that I wasn't focusing on myself, but not entirely. I feel like there were little bits of myself that I could see were not fully invested in my life. I was like, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We're doing the thing. We're not doing the things. And then we had a friend who ended his life on his terms, and that is okay. But it's very crushing, and it's a huge wake-up call for a lot of people, including myself. And so that is why the fundamental phrase for this week, you guys, is Carpe diem. Yeah, Carpe diem. Seize the day. Carpe diem is Latin. That's actually why I started this podcast out by saying salve, because that means hello in Latin. And, again, anytime this has occurred in my life more times than I would like to admit. And so, I think for me, every time this occurs in my life, I do have 2 options, right? I really have 7 options because I have plenty of levels of energies that I can approach this from. But in my mind, there is, the spiral into depression, which I have often gone down. In my past, that's where I would go. I would go dark, I would go deep, and I don't know when I would reemerge back out to the light. And this time, I really, really didn't want to do that. I really wanted to honor not just this person, but all of the people that this has occurred to in my life, in the world. I wanted to go into a different level. And this is a new level for everyone on this podcast, so I'm going to talk about it first. I decided to go into level 5 energy. So, level 5 energy, it is about reconciliation. It's finding peace and acceptance. It's the idea that we both win and that I understand you. And the biggest thing about level 5 really is finding the opportunity in things. And while it does not take the pain away from what has happened, it allows me to focus on the things that are in my control. Because there are so many things out of our control, and if I focus on those, I will cry. I will have a meltdown. It's just, life can be so hard, and I don't want to do that anymore. And maybe you don't want to do that either. Here is your opportunity to try something new. And so for me, I saw the opportunity to stop making excuses. I mean, I've been on here, I don't even know how many times, telling you guys that I'm going to have a website up with my gallery art, and I just keep kicking that can down the road. And guess what? I built that. As soon as I heard the news that day, it was last Thursday morning is when we found out, I believe, and I, that day, got my website up and running. So you now also have the opportunity to go to tylerthelady.com and see my art gallery. I will continue to put stuff up there and to grow that. There are, I believe, like the last 3 episodes of the podcast at a time up there. If you do still want the full episodes, they are streaming everywhere, obviously. If you found this, you probably know that. But I got it up. I got it running. I started, making better choices for my morning routines and not wanting to feel like my body was wasting away, because I was not fully happy with the body that I was living in. And so rather than just letting it slip away, I'm deciding to take action. I'm deciding to take control, and, working out is another thing to just add into the mix. And we talked about the pyramid scheme. Right now, I'm on my big booty Europe routine because, life really, it's all about growing. It's all about changing. And we just have to find that level of acceptance and that level of peace. And if something is not going your way, if you are not feeling okay, please know that there is help for you. Please reach out to a professional. If it is not me that you want to talk to, if you feel like you are in a dysfunctional state of being, if you feel like you don't want to be on this planet, please reach out. It's so simple. It's so easy. You can call, you can text. It's 3 numbers. They are 988. Yes, 988. If you are feeling like you want to cause harm to yourself, to others, to 988. There are professionals waiting to speak to you. There is no charge for this service. I know a lot of times people are afraid about therapy and what therapy costs. Guess what? This is a prevention hotline. This is a free service to keep you here. So I'm just saying, 3 numbers. Reach out. Reach out. And at this point, with all of the people that I have lost, I do accept their decisions. And I have so much love for all of the people and so much hurt for all of the people. But I send my love out to everyone. We are all here together. If you ever need to talk, if you want a friend, I'm here. We have the opportunity to connect. We have the opportunity to grow together. And we also have the opportunity to support and love each other in all the ways that we possibly can. And if you would like to support me and this podcast, you absolutely can in multiple ways. Let's say, for example, you wanted to buy yourself a new pair of minimalist shoes. You could use my Zero affiliate link to do so, and then simultaneously pay me. Yes, Zero Shoes has a lot of different shoes. I love them all. They bring a lot of joy to my life. And you can buy your own pair at zeroshoes.com/go/Tyler the Lady. Another way that you can support this podcast is to rate, review, like, subscribe, and share this podcast, because that is how we grow this community, right? You go out there, you rate, you review, you like, you subscribe. All these people are going to be able to find me, find this message. We grow this community. We gain strength. You can follow me at Broadpoints or at Tyler the Lady. And if social media is not for you, I honestly get it. It really does, make my head spin from time to time, but I continue to just post the positive things out there for my people so that we can know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can email me instead. broadpointspodcast@gmail.com. Now, one more time with that fundamental phrase for the week. Carpe diem.